Hi guys! Today I will be sharing my savings tips on how I budget my money and how I make sure that I don't go beyond the budget that I made. First one is make a monthly budget. This is very important and you have to follow your monthly budget. On my part, every time I get my salary, here's my ATM and usually it is with the small paper. This small paper here, you could see my savings, the 20 peso challenge that I joined, the plan, my phone plan, and my daily budget, and other things that I need to pay for monthly and save it. Even the things that I pampered myself, I included in my budget. Now, that's the first step. You have to follow it. If you're going to put this with your ATM, the moment that you're going to withdraw your money, you would be reminded that, I have to give this for the savings, give this for the challenge, and you would have a proper placement for your money. So that's the point why I always keep this yellow paper with my ATM to remind myself that, hey, you're following a budget. Don't go beyond it. Number 2 tip is have a daily budget. Here's the thing, a daily budget. My daily budget is 50 pesos per day. I'm not advising you guys to have a 50 pesos per day budget, but just compute on how much you spend every day. It's just for me that I spend usually around 50 pesos less than 50 pesos. So every time I get my salary, I would remove a certain amount there that is already in my monthly budget and have it changed for 50 pesos each. And I made the small envelopes here like Tuesday. So it means this yellow one is for Tuesday. So I put it there already. The moment I get my salary, change the 50 pesos, put it in the small envelope so that I would know that I have a 50 pesos budget for that day only. The problem is if you're going to make a certain budget, like 2,000 is my daily budget, okay? I'm gonna use this 2,000 for my daily and save it until I get my next salary. The problem with that is if you have 2,000 pesos in your wallet, you would be spending that 2,000 pesos faster before you even get your budget. But if you know that you have only 50 pesos in your wallet, you'll be spending 50 pesos only. Is that clear? So I also have the color. The other one is pink. The other one is yellow. If it's pink, it means I just got my salary, so I still have a lot to budget. If it's yellow, it means that I'm almost out of budget. I'm like salary's coming like that. So stick with your 50 pesos. So how did I come out with the 50 pesos budget? It's because I'm spending 8 pesos for fare, so that's 16 pesos back and forth. And I pack my lunch, so I don't need to buy food outside, so that's good. So it would save me a lot of money. So I'll just be spending around 30 plus for something like if I get hungry or unexpected expenditure. So what do I do if, for example, we have an unexpected contribution that day? I would say that I can't pay. I'll just pay you tomorrow, so that I could bring extra money. Tip number 3. This is a personal message to myself because I could hardly do this, but I'm hoping that I could do it now, this coming payday, and that is to come at work on time or ahead of time. We all know that we get salary deduction because of coming to work late. Accumulating this like 5 minutes per day tardiness could equal to a big amount. So come to work on time or ahead of time. Trust me, I have salary deduction as high as 400 or 500 per 15 days, for 15 days, because I'm super late, and that 500 pesos could have gone to my savings. So come to work on time or ahead of time so that you wouldn't be late. Personal message to myself. Yeah. And to add something about that coming to work on time is go home after work. Immediately after you finish your work, go home. Do not go to the mall, do not go to the market, do not go anywhere. Just go home. It's the best saving thing. Because there are tendencies that, oh, I'll just walk around and go to the mall, and you'll be spending more than that 50 pesos. I'm pretty sure. So go home after work. Tip number 4 is limit your expenses. Limit your expenses, manage your self-pampering. I am guilty that every month I have facial. Every month I get a facial. It's already included in my monthly budget that I would save a certain amount of money for my facial. A certain amount for the 15, a certain amount for the 20, combine that together, and then I'll have the budget for 1 month clear. So here's the thing, if I'm gonna have facial, which is a consistent thing, it doesn't mean I'm gonna get my haircut immediately that month. It's not like every month we get haircut. It's not every month we get pedicure and manicure. It's not every month we get massage. What else? It's not every month we buy unnecessary food or eating. It's not every month we're gonna buy shoes. Okay? So, aside from me, my monthly usual pampering would be getting facial. I would make it a point that I would limit it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna have massage this month, I'm gonna have massage next month. And it doesn't also mean that I didn't get massage this month, I'm gonna get massage next month. I'm just limiting the expenses there. Okay, I don't need that. I can make my own nails. I could go to sleep and lie down. I don't need that massage. If my shoe is still okay, I don't need to buy a new one. Food, yeah, go home. There's food at home. Since I'm still staying with my family, there's food at home. Yeah, don't need to buy outside. And another thing is buying those expensive drinks. I know I used to be guilty about buying those expensive drinks. Like every after work, I would go and buy, and after and after and after. But if you're going to think about it, if you're going to spend 120 pesos in one drink, that's already a full course meal and some other like fast food change. That 100 peso could be like 2 packs of coffee already at home. So what I did was I just buy those 2 packs of coffee and make my own coffee at home. Trust me, it would still be the same. You could add your own flavor if you want, more milk, more creamer, whatever you want. You could do it at home. Again, it's a part of saving money. I'm not telling you to deprive yourself from the things that you want. I'm just saying that, okay, go if you want to buy, as long as you're earning enough to support yourself and your other expenditure. Tip number 5 would be something that I keep on mentioning a while ago, which is pack your own food. Pack your lunch, pack your snack. Buying food outside would be pretty expensive and would cost a lot of money. So if you're gonna pack your food, you'll be saving your money and knowing what you're eating is healthy, whether it's clean or not. So pack your food, pack your snack. Though I am guilty that I do sometimes buy food outside, I am limiting it in a certain amount only to clear. So don't spend too much money on food. But it doesn't mean that you're not gonna spend too much food if you're gonna keep yourself hungry. Like what I said, pack your lunch. So pack as many as you want so you don't have to be hungry. Clear. My tip number 6 would be eat at home during dinner. Eat at home during dinner. This is something that I notice most people would do because I did it before. It's the moment that you get your payday, you want to go to the next fast food chain and eat that food that you always wanted to eat. But try to control yourself. Like, eat at home, or give it to your mom and let her buy food or cook food that you like. It would save you a lot of money. Clear? Like, if you're gonna spend 500, I have tried spending 100 or 200 pesos on just one meal. If you're going to ask your mom to buy that 200 pesos and cook another meal, it would be cheaper and you get to eat more. So try to eat at home, or if you really want that quality food, how about ask somebody to cook for you, your mom, or if you're good in cooking, then cook food for yourself. Tip number 7 is walk. When you're going to a nearby place, walk. Like the other day, I went to the market. I ride a jeep going to the market. And when I was at the market, I said I needed to go to the bank. So I walked going to the bank. And then I said I needed to go to the mall. So I walked going to the mall. I could have ride a jeep going to the bank and ride another jeep going to the mall and then ride a jeep going back to whatever place I want. But that would accumulate to a huge amount of money. So if you're going to a certain place and you know you could walk, then kindly walk. It would save a lot of money. Come on, guys. You're still paying for fare. So make sure that if the place is near, kindly walk going to that place rather than riding a jeep over and over again, or riding a taxi over and over again. Is that clear? So just try to walk. It's healthy, it's exercise, so there's nothing wrong with it. Walk if the place is near. My tip number 8, tip number 8 would be make a list. If you're gonna go to the grocery, make a list of the things that you're going to buy and stick with it. I know those people who make a list and follow the list and add up a little bit more. So make a list of the things that you're going to buy, and secondly, choose the grocery that you're going to be shopping in for buying your grocery, because I am aware, and I know you are aware, that there are some groceries that are selling higher prices and there are some other groceries that are selling cheaper, but it's still the same product. So the thing is, if you're like me, I would rather go to a store that sells the same thing but with a cheaper price than go to a grocery that is selling something that is more expensive. I'm not saying to you guys that compare the price every time you go. I'll go to grocery A and then go back to grocery B and compare it to which one is better. I think you are well aware what grocery or shop or store sells cheaper ones. Most of the time they're consistent if they say they're gonna sell something cheap. Tip number 9. My tip number 9 is look for extra income. Extra income is very important. I'm tutoring some kids during exam as an extra income. Before, I used to knit some pouches to get extra income, or sew some nurse masks for extra income, or bake some pastries for extra income. There are a lot of ways for you guys to have extra income. Here's the thing, I never had a talent for cooking or baking. I just watched it on YouTube and tried to practice, have my sister taste it, and turns out okay, so I started selling them. Again, there are a lot of different ways to have extra income, and this will add up to your budget in the days to come. Tip number 10. Tip number 10 would be accept some saving challenges. If you have heard it in Facebook, YouTube, or any social media, the 50 peso challenge, 1 peso challenge, the saving challenge that they're going up. Actually, I accepted one, which is the 20 peso saving challenge. 20 pesos saving challenge. Why the 20 peso saving challenge? Because one, I am also having my personal saving aside from the 20 peso saving challenge. So I would go to a saving that would fit my budget. So without like corrupting me or hesitating or holding me back from buying the things or spending the things that I want. So I would go with the 20 peso challenge. Actually, if you're gonna look at the list of the 20 peso challenge, it's actually hard because there are some days that you're going to give 1,000 pesos for a day, and that's already too much. So I would go with the 20 peso challenge because the 50 peso challenge is kinda high for my budget, for my earnings. So accept a saving challenge. Again, it would be a very big achievement if you succeed in this saving challenge. Number 11. Number 11 would be one of these. This is my savings jar. Every time I get 5 peso as a change in riding the jeep like that, I would leave the 5 peso here. Okay, for the past year, I already filled 3 jars and deposited. I have 3 small jars like this or similar like this. I fill it up with 5 peso or 10 peso coin, and once it's filled, I deposit it in the bank. So where do I get the 10 peso like that? From my daily savings. Like what I said, I don't really spend 50 pesos per day, but why not limit your budget to less than 50 pesos? It's just because sometimes I get to spend something, like I get hungry, I buy more than what I pack for lunch, like that. So I need that. But sometimes I don't, so the extra money, the extra coins, I put it here in my jar. So I was able to fill up 3 jars like this, and like I deposited 3 times in the year, so it's like 3, 6, 9 times. I fill 9 jars like this, and I deposit it every time I fill it up. So I'm not exactly holding the coins inside. I deposit it in the bank. So there, I am able to save money from my daily budget. Lastly, I would like to say that this advice or saving tips that I'm sharing you guys is something that I've been doing for the past 2 to 3 years, and it's been very effective to me. I still haven't done number 3. I'm still trying to go with number 3. If it works for you, then comment down below if it's effective. I don't know if the 50 peso budget would be good enough for you, but it's good enough for me living in the province. And it's a way of like having that security that you have a savings in case of emergency, which is very important. So if the tip works, then please inform me. How about commenting down below that it works? If it doesn't, you could always adjust it. Okay? Thank you for watching!